The Edgemar Development by Frank Gehry. In Santa Monica on Main Street resides another architectural gem, the Edgemar Development, designed by Pritzker Prize-winning architect Frank Gehry. The Main Street Santa Monica property has had several different owners throughout the years. The property began its life as a dairy factory, and then later as an egg factory, now to its present-day existence as a trendy retail complex and art gallery. The owner, Abby Shear, a former director and now a developer, needed an architect to blend volumes into a mixed-use complex. Frank Gehry was chosen because of his architectural mastery to break down site plans into coexisting volumes and forms. Frank Gehry had to compose a plan that not only would accommodate an art gallery and various retail stores. The plan had to be aesthetically pleasing to the owner, yet also had to appease the heavily regulated Santa Monica Building Department's criteria for new construction. From the left on Main Street, the first rectangular volume is covered with galvanized steel, and also a volume is cut for the entrance to the parking lot. The structure is supported by oversized trusses that are an ornamental feature and a structural support for the volume, stairway, and elevator. The volumes on the left and the truss structure are boundaries determined by a curvilinear path that cuts through the property and forms an arcade. The curvilinear path has several uses. The path entices people to veer off and enter the property. The true intentions of the path are that it hides and isolates the center courtyard from the street. The materials galvanized steel, plaster, and glass compose the majority of the facade. The path that draws people into the structure takes them into the central courtyard. This is where one of the three towers resides. The three towers are not only architectural features, but they also make a statement to the community. For example, the middle column that rests in the center courtyard, the tower is made of solid concrete and is covered with Gehry's signature galvanized steel fencing. The concrete symbolizes where the city is going towards plain square concrete rectangular volumes. Gehry's statement by encasing these is so that people avoid and shun this type of architecture, and keeps this type of architecture caged up and away from people. The tower on the left side of the property represents the disconnect that people have with the community. Gehry reflects this notion in the architecture of the building. The tower appears incomplete, and the bare steel frame that sits on top of the structure is a reflection of the city. The tower towards the right is the only tower that appears complete. This reflection is where parts of the city have been developed and investments made in aesthetic appearance, and parts of the city that have been left due to rent control, preventing developers to make large investments in reconstruction. The Edgemar. Pictures by Shahab Adeli. Go SC.